The woman was cleaning the windows at home when she felt something wasn't quite right in front of her, completely unaware that the wall behind her was slowly inching closer. Before she could react, her face was slammed hard against the glass, pressed so tightly she couldn't move a muscle. By the time she gathered her senses, everything was back to normal. Just then, the phone rang. It was Crazy Margot calling.
You saw it. They're lying to all of us.
Alice vaguely sensed Margot might be speaking the truth, but her own fear wouldn't let her admit it. She frantically hung up. The next day during rehearsal at the dance studio, Alice suddenly saw Margot's reflection in the mirror instead of her own. The Margot in the mirror slowly approached and slammed her head violently against the glass, as if trying to break free from its prison. Alice screamed in terror, drawing everyone's attention, but the looks they gave her were strange and unsettling. When Alice looked back, the mirror showed her own reflection again, but she knew, deep down, she wasn't crazy. Panicked, Alice fled home, only to see Margot standing on the roof. Holding a small knife and staring blankly, Margot turned her head, and then jumped towards Alice's direction. Alice rushed forward to save her, but two mysterious figures in red forcibly dragged her away. When her husband Jack came home, Alice tried to describe the bizarre events, but he refused to believe her. He insisted Margot had just accidentally fallen, and the hospital said she'd been successfully saved and was fine, but Alice knew injuries like that couldn't possibly be survived. They had their first major fight. Jack kept repeating, to maintain their rich, beautiful life, they should just pretend those strange things never happened. Alice reluctantly dropped it for the moment, but she could feel something deeply wrong with this community, as if they were living inside a fragile bubble. The next day, she tried wrapping her head tightly in layers of cling wrap. The agonizing feeling of suffocation felt terrifyingly real. She desperately tore the plastic off, gasping for air, feeling like she'd come back to life. Afterwards, Jack called in the community doctor to examine Alice. When she asked about Margot, the doctor gave the same answer as Jack. However, as the doctor leaned over to grab a pen, Alice glimpsed a file bearing Margot's name. After the doctor left, H forgot in his bag. Alice seized the chance to look inside. A single line was written: Margot refused treatment. Community warning issued. At the community's grand annual gala, every resident's face radiated pure, ecstatic enjoyment, but Alice felt only fear and suffocation. Soon, Jack was called on stage and announced H received a promotion. Encouraged by the community's founder, Jack started singing and dancing wildly on stage, looking completely brainwashed. Alice couldn't take it anymore. She rushed into the restroom and poured out all her suspicions to her best friend, but her friend didn't listen. Instead, she blamed Alice for breaking the community rules, saying she'd gone completely crazy like Margot. This reaction only confirmed Alice's suspicions and strengthened her resolve to uncover the truth. A few days later, everyone gathered at Alice's house to celebrate Jack's promotion. Alice tried hard to play the role of the perfect wife. In the kitchen, the founder himself brought up the strange occurrences and openly admitted Alice's discoveries were true. He said H been waiting for someone like her, someone who could challenge him. Alice dropped the act too. Right there at the dinner table, she laid everything bare. Soon, everyone realized in horror, every couple in the community had met, fallen in love, and even honeymooned in exactly the same way, and their memories before that, a complete blank. Clearly, this was an artificially created utopian community. It had somehow altered everyone's memories and trapped them here with the promise of a perfect life, but the founder's authority wasn't easily challenged.